I thought it's time for a Q&A. I'm going to go over about 5 questions that I get asked all the time. Okay, one of the questions that I keep getting is, how does vibration work? How can shaking make you lose weight? So I'm going to go over that right now. For example, you can take a jackhammer and it can be used to break a 10-inch thick reinforced cement sidewalk. And it's only using about 10 millimeters of constant tapping. It's that vibration that's done fast enough. It creates what's called acceleration, and the accelerated energy can do unbelievable things because it's all based on physics. So you can even get those little chisels in your hand that can break cement up. And that's something that you're holding in your hand and has the power to break cement. Just like a jackhammer, you hold in your hands, you set on the ground, and you just let it jolt into the cement and it just pounds right through it. This is how vibration works. It's an accelerated jolt, just like a jackhammer, into the body. It's as long as you don't go above 8 inches and you don't have a metal top, those constant jolts are no different than a jackhammer, and the body's going to respond with an equal and opposite reaction. Okay, I have never found anything that can take me to fatigue that fast. And I've been working out since I was 18 years old or 17 years old, and I'm 51 now, so it's been over 30 years. I've never seen nothing work as fast. Literally, I can go to 100% failure. It's because of these constant strikes with the plate, causing the muscles to fatigue and causing immense workouts. That's if you work out on. Standing on it is a little different because your body's working on trying to find a way to balance. But when you actually start bending at the joints, like if your arms are on it, you bend the elbows. If your legs are on it, you bend the knees. These impulses go straight into the muscle bellies and they cause unbelievable changes in the body because the energy is so intense that the muscles have to respond with an equal and opposite reaction. Question 2. What if I'm skinny? I can't lose any more weight. Okay. The reason why I keep talking about fat loss is because 2 out of 3 Americans are considered overweight, and of that, half of those 2 out of 3 are considered obese, have a body fat of 30% or higher. And that seems to be the biggest concern. But, okay, I don't have fat problems. I'm looking to get in the best shape I can, and I don't want to, you live once, and I want my life to be filled with movement, exercise, traveling, hiking, riding bikes. And I don't want to be like people that I know that once you get in their 50s, they're so out of shape that they really can't do much. So it mainly works by forcing the muscles to contract and relax with these accelerated vibrations, which in turn burns calories, but because the energy is just so intense, it actually adds muscle too. And muscle is beautiful. Muscle fills the areas that make us look good. Fat tends to go in other areas that is less attractive. So can it add muscle? Oh, unbelievable. If you work out in the gym, you're working a slow twitch. You use a vibration plate, you're mainly using a fast twitch and super fast twitch. So that by using a vibration plate and going to the gym, you're actually working both muscle fibers out, which is going to give you a fuller muscle belly. It's going to give you better striations, better lines in the muscles. And one of the crazy things is that it has a tendency to use up more brown fat, the visceral fat. Now, if you ever see the guys that have, turn it on real quick. Those guys that have, they're lean, but they have the big belly. Okay. The fat that forms in our organs is called brown fat or visceral fat, and that's the hardest to lose. That's why you can see so many people, especially men, walking around with these big extended stomachs. They get those umbilical herniations, they get a little tear in their abdominal wall right above their belly button. They get that protruding intestines. That's because the compartment that which your organs sit is being stretched out from the abundance of brown fat, which causes weakening of the abdominal cavity, which in turn can cause umbilical herniation. And this is serious because it can get bad where it actually pulls out. It can cause problems with digestion. Now, the thing about brown fat is it's so hard to lose. It's so hard to get rid of this brown fat because it's a different type of fat. If you know anything about biology, there's a lot of mitochondria. That means there's a lot of energy producing organelle inside those cells, and they tend to be the slower to burn. It's more of an emergency type fat for extreme conditions. So your body tends to lose more fat on the surface and less in the organs. But because we don't really suffer from famine that much, we don't worry about, going without eating for a week or two, where we have to have a lot of emergency supplies. Especially in America, not many people are starving. Even the poor people have a way of eating, but they just don't eat the right foods because they can't afford to go to Whole Foods or buy the organic. But you need to be careful with brown fat. The third question is, when should you not use a vibration plate? Okay, this is from conditions like acute injuries, like a sprained ankle, a sprained knee, you fell and hurt your back. This is when you kind of don't want to use it because the injuries are brand new and they need to be elevated. They need to be non-weight bearing. You got to give a chance to heal. It's the chronic injuries, the injuries that are going on for a week or longer. The longer it is, the more I'd say to use it longer, because you want to get the vibration. The vibration can actually help immensely with helping improve the circulation in these joints to promote healing. It helps break open a lot of the accumulation of scar tissue that tends to happen after an injury. It will tend to accumulate more scar tissue than necessary, and it's the movements that help break the scar tissue up, because scar tissue is going to align sporadically. And your goal is you want the scar tissue to align with the movement of the ligaments or the muscles, so that it has its natural pliability, so it can move more normally. Because otherwise, if it's sporadic, it's going to have less elasticity, and it's going to cause a stiffer joint, stiffer muscles. And the vibration plates are beautiful at helping break open that scar tissue and allowing the damaged areas to perform or have more range of motion. Okay, the second is if you're pregnant. You don't want to use a vibration plate through pregnancy because it could place a lot of stress. The last thing you want to do is it affect how the baby's in the belly. You don't want to have a miscarriage. So when you're pregnant, highly recommended you don't use it. Just like you don't drink, you really don't want to jump around a lot. You want to kind of just stay active, but not as active as a vibration plate can do. The third thing is if you have a stent. If you have previously had plaquing of the arteries around the heart, and they put those springs inside the veins or the arteries to help open them up. They're called a stent. You kind of don't want to use those. Use a vibration plate for those unless your doctor says okay. There's different types of stents, and the last you want to do is disengage one of those stents where it can actually get into the heart or other muscle, other parts of the body, and that could cause serious complications. So that's the third reason. Maybe a fourth, maybe not quite. You have to be a little more careful if you have serious balancing issues. If you stand on the plate and you start getting dizzy, it's called vertigo, then I would recommend that until you get your balance better, that you have someone near you that can catch you if you fall. That's one of the reasons why you really don't see these in gyms, because I see 1 out of 30 or 1 out of 40 people will undergo severe vertigo, which makes them literally fall down. And this could be a problem, especially if it's an older female. If you're an older female and you have osteopenia, the last thing you want to do is be elevated off the ground 10 inches on a vibration plate, and then you end up getting dizzy and you fall and you break your wrist, you break your hip. That wouldn't help. That I would recommend that you have assistance, have someone around you, because the vibration plates are going to definitely make your bones stronger. They're going to help improve your balance. But starting off, if you suffer from balancing problems, you might want to have someone close to you actually assisting you to make sure that you don't fall, because the balance comes back pretty quick. Final question that I get all the time is, do vibration plate really work? Man, I hear this everywhere I go. Okay, it's been around probably longer than treadmills. It's been around since the mid-60s. It was used by the space program. It was unheard of by NASA. It was all done by the cosmonauts. They did it for, I believe, 30 to 45 days prior to going into zero gravity for up to 9 months and past on their space station. And they found out that it had such an immense effect on the skeletal system that they could actually go 3 to 4 months longer in zero gravity and not go through the serious condition of osteopenia, osteoporosis. It wasn't until NASA joined up with the Soviet Union that they learned about this technology, and now they're trying to find a way to incorporate it on the space station. But the problem is that any type of movement would disrupt the projection of the space capsule, whatever kind it is, and that could lose its trajectory. But they use it before and after they go into zero gravity. When they come back after long stays, they use the vibration plate to get their bone density back up to a strong enough level so that they fall, they don't break a bone. The NFL uses it. So many celebrities are using it. You can go on YouTube and see Mark Wahlberg, you can see Cindy Crawford, you see Clint Eastwood, because it's so efficient at burning calories and losing fat without losing muscle fiber that it's unbelievable. So that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and, this is getting a little long. If you have any questions, leave comments below. I'll try to get to those. I'm trying out my new camera, so if it's a little shaky, a little off, I apologize, but I'm just trying to give you the best information I can. This is Dr. Mike. Thank you.